started with our weight training class today. You will need a little space to move around, probably a mat to stand on or some non-slip surface, and some weights. What kind of weights? I don't know, depends on what you like to lift. I've got some light weights, some medium weights, and I've got one heavy weight, so just depends on what you want to do. We're going to start with our normal warm-up, and tapping lightly around your hip area. As you let your body turn, just kind of pull your back a little bit. Start with keeping your feet fairly still and do fairly small turns. You just warm it up. And if everything's feeling good, then maybe start to turn a little further with your heels. Let your arms fly out a little more. There you go, looking good. And then maybe just a little bit further, just a little bit faster. Really let your arms fly. 2 more. And then bringing everything into stillness, we're going to go straight into high knees. As you're doing your high knees, go ahead and swing your arms in and out. Again, just moving through all our big joints, waking everything up. Beautiful. Couple more on each side. And then bringing everything back down. Just some nice big hip circles. And then go the other way. And then last but not least, we're going to reach opposite hand to opposite foot. So reaching all the way up, all the way down. Have a nice generous bend in your knees. Start to loosen up through your hamstrings. Through your back. Maybe a little bit part of your back. Beautiful. 2 more on each side. All right, from here, we're gonna go ahead and grab 2 weights. You might want to go a little heavy, you might want to go medium to start out with. We're gonna do sumo squats, so we're gonna turn our feet out at like a 45-degree angle. Rack those weights on our shoulders. Down into our squat, and then press up overhead. Now on my next set, I'm going to demonstrate the seated version, but for right now, we're going to do standing. Here we go. Squat, and overhead press. Beautiful. How deep do you squat? I don't care. Squat however deep works for you. Some days it might be a little deeper than others. You might be somebody who absolutely loves squats and you can drop it all the way down. My daughter's like that. She can squat until her bottom is just about touching the floor and then pop right back up like a cork. Some of us, our knees and hips don't do that anymore. 15 seconds to go. You got this. And squat. Nice job. From here, we're going to go into a combination of a bent over row and an upright row. So you're still going to need 2 weights. You might want to go medium, you might want to go light for this one. You're going to start with a nice little bend in your knees. Come forward for your bent over row, and then stand up for your upright row. Alternating back and forth. 1 minute. Here we go. Nice, looking good. about the shoulder height for the upright row. Halfway there. Looking good. You got 10 seconds to go. Perfect. Set those weights down for just a second. Pull through your shoulders. For the next one, you're still going to need 2 weights. We're going to do bicep curl and a mini lunge. You're only going to use 1 weight at a time. So you're going to find your mini lunge. Again, I don't care how deep, however deep works for you. You're going to take the opposite hand, and that's the one that's going to do your bicep curl. At 30 seconds, we'll switch sides. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Nice little mini lunge. Beautiful, looking good. Slow and controlled on that bicep curl. Making the muscles do the work. Nice. You guys are fantastic. Switching in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Nice and easy. Keeping it simple today. Sometimes we do a lot of compound exercises where we put together 3 or 4 in a series. Trying to keep it at 2 or less today. Give you guys a little bit of break. And time. Alright, next up, you're just going to need 1 weight for this one, and this one is super simple. You're just doing a press out. Now, you may choose to go medium. You may choose to go light, because this one really works as you press out. So you're going to get in a nice settled stance. Make sure everything's nice and steady. Pushing straight out, and then pulling back in. That's all you're doing. 1 minute. Here we go. Trying to keep your upper body as still as you can. Just working the arms and shoulders. Breathing. Taking it slow and steady. Same speed in both directions. Halfway done. Stop for a second. Switch your grip if you're holding it vertical, so that you're putting the other hand on the inside. Now, if you're holding it sideways because you have a weight that works for that, you don't have to worry about switching your grip. 10 seconds to go. You got this. And time. Nice. All right, last one. We're already on number 6. I'm going to go for my light weights for this one just because, I'll be honest, this one really works your shoulders and back. We're going to do a basic back fly. So you're going to find that hip hinge, nice flat back. Keep your elbows bent. And you're coming up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Just like that. 1 minute. Here we go. This works through your shoulders and your upper arms. You want to focus on that squeeze between the shoulder blades so that you're really getting a good back workout. Nice, looking good. Still breathing. Halfway done. Beautiful. more seconds. You got this. That's fine. Nice job. All right. Set those weights down. Grab some water. That is one set down. We have 2 sets still to go. All right, bringing it back in. Coming back in for the sumo squat with the overhead press. Now, if you're doing the seated version, there are a couple ways you can do this. You can use a chair for your chair squat, coming all the way down and then standing up. Or you can just leave that off altogether and focus on the overhead press, still pushing into your heels to keep your legs engaged. If you're doing the standing version, you already know how to do that. 1 minute. Here we go. Beautiful. All right, your obligatory reminder that you control how hard this exercise is. You can change weights at any time, put the weights down. You can change how you're holding the weights, whether you hold them above your shoulders or let them rest all the way down to give yourself that momentary break. Totally up to you how hard you want to work with this. 20 seconds to go. You got it. Remember, any work you're doing is good for you, because all movement is good movement as long as it doesn't hurt. 5 more seconds. You got this. That's time. All right, next up, we have the bent over row into the upright row. Seated variation. Really not that different. You lean forward, pull it up, sit up, pull it up. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful, looking good. Nice flat back on that bent over row. And how far you bend over, I don't care. Well, I take that back. I don't go more than 90 degrees. But if you go to 45 degrees, that is perfectly acceptable. That is a great position for a bent over row. In fact, it's probably the ideal position at 45 degrees. You can also do it leaning further forward, or a little less far, depending on what's good for you. Time. Beautiful. All right, next up, we have that bicep curl with the mini lunge. Now, again, for the seated variation, you can put 1 foot behind and lean forward so you're still getting some leg engagement, or you can leave that off altogether and just focus on that bicep curl. Totally up to you. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Letting the other hand hang down. Holding that weight. Providing a little bit of challenge for your core, keeping it upright. Switching sides in 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Still breathing. Still taking your time, making the muscles do the work. 5 seconds to go. Time. Beautiful. All right. Next up, you know what? I totally skipped our next exercise on our first round. We only did 5 exercises. I felt like that moved really fast. we're gonna do a tricep extension, but we're gonna do a single arm. So you're gonna have just the tricep extension coming, instead of straight behind you, you're gonna turn it so it's coming down behind your head. Changes the angle, makes you work a little bit more. And then at the 30-second mark, maybe 45, we'll switch directions since we skipped the last row. And then as your hand comes up, add a little calf raise. Nice. Slow and steady. Gotta make sure we're working those triceps. Especially as fat as it is, got a lot of tank top weather going on here. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Switch hands. Timer's gonna go off, but we're still gonna go for 10 more seconds. You got this. Almost there, and time. Woo! You know I love tricep exercises. All right, now we're gonna do that press out. So grabbing that weight, vertical or horizontal, whatever way works for you. But if you're doing that vertical hold, remember we're gonna switch halfway through. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. The seated press out is exactly the same as the standing. You're just keeping your body as still as you can, trying to make your shoulders and arms do all the work. Engaging your core, keep it steady. Beautiful. Switching in 3, 2, 1. If you have that vertical grip. Beautiful. Still breathing. 10 seconds to go. Time. Nice job. All right. Last but not least, our back fly. Grabbing whichever weight is right for you. If you're doing the seated version, again, you're just going to do that little lean forward. Anywhere between, 20 degrees and 90 degrees is a good lean. So find what works for you. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Keeping your head, neck, and back in a nice straight line. So you're looking down towards the floor. Beautiful. Halfway done. Nice, generous bend in your elbows. Remember you're focusing on that squeeze between the shoulder blades. 5 more seconds, almost there. Time. Whew. All right, second set done. Grab some more water. We have 1 set left to go. All right, bringing it back in. Now, sometimes you get to the 3rd set and you're raring to go and you're like, yeah, totally, let's do another set. Sometimes you get to the 3rd set and you're like, okay, not gonna lie, I'm struggling, this one was hard. If that's the case, You can always do a body weight set to finish out. Take it slow. No, don't push yourself because that's when you get hurt. So today I'm going to demonstrate the third step with body weight variations. If you're raring to go, grab the weights. You already know how to do these exercises. If you're not, follow along, and we'll take it a little lighter. Coming back into the sumo squat with the overhead press. It's literally the same motions, just not holding. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Turn the feet out, coming down. You can even do the chair weight version, the chair assisted version. Just sitting down, standing up, and raising your hands. Beautiful, looking good. Start with the body weight version of their exercises to warm up. Some people like to finish with them for a cool down. Some people do both and just wait in the middle set. Totally up to you what you like to do with your workout. When I do my personal workout, honestly, I just go by however I feel that day. I mix it up. Time. Alright, up next, we have the bent over row and the upright row. Now, when you're doing the body weight version, you can lean a little further if that feels comfortable for your back. If you're doing the weighted version, grab your weights. Here we go. So I come down, bring my arms up to my ribs, and then stand up, and the same thing. I'm just bringing my hands up, over third. For the body weight version is a little different. I'm focusing on making sure that my core is in nice and tight and that my knees aren't collapsing in. I'm keeping a good foundation. And then just squeeze it light tap on my each. 20 seconds to go. Beautiful, almost there. And time. Alright, next up is our mini lunge with our bicep curl. Now, same thing. Body weight, all you're doing is the motions without weight in your hand. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. And again, my focus changes. Focus a little more on my mini lunge, a little less on the weight if I'm doing the body weight version. I'm just bringing my hand up and tap my shoulder. I'm trying to do it nice and slow, just like I would if I was holding weight, so that I'm still working the muscle. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Even in the bodyweight version, I'm still keeping a slight bend in my elbow, making sure that I'm practicing good form. So if I do decide to add a weight, I don't have any bad habits to correct. Time. Beautiful. All right, next up is our single arm tricep press with the calf raise. Bodyweight version, you're bringing your hand down and you're tapping right between your shoulder blades for the back of your neck. 1 minute. Here we go. Beautiful. Body weight or with a weight. Make sure you're keeping that core nice and tight here. And switch sides. place your hand on your belly just to help you make sure you're keeping everything steady and solid. If you're doing the weight, you can also support your arm to help keep that elbow in place so that you're isolating the tricep muscle a little better. Alright, next up we have the press out. Now, if you're doing the body weight version of this, you're pressing out in a diamond shape, but you definitely want to make sure you're keeping your lower body engaged. So, if you're doing it with a weight, just soft knees, soft hips. If you're doing it body weight, maybe drop into a mini squat here so that you're good and solidly engaged in a strong foundation. Beautiful. If you're holding that weight, you're going to be switching your grip in 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch the order of your hands. Beautiful. Gotta make sure we keep everything nice and even. Check in, tuck that tail under. If you haven't done it already, make sure it's tucked under and you're not arching your back. Or if you started out that way, like me, you can get over time. And time. Beautiful. All right. Last one is that back climb. Now, again, body weight exercise. Make a loose fist. Focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together. The same movement as a push. Step. It's a great step. We got this. Last exercise, guys. 10 seconds to go. You can do it. All right, that is it. Shake everything out, grab some water, and then all we have left is our final stretch. All right, bringing it back in for that final stretch. Taking a nice deep breath in, bring your arms up over your head, and then let it all out, fold forward, let everything hang for just a second, and then roll up nice and slow, bringing your shoulders up to your ears, and letting them settle down and back, and let's do that all again. Inhale, arms up, fold forward, pause for just one breath, and then as you exhale, roll up. Roll the shoulders up, and then down and back. One more. Arms up overhead, folding forward. From here though, we're going to pause at the bottom and walk our hands around to one side. Taking a little side stretch. Back to the center to the other side. Just a nice little relaxation. Walking it back to the center. Coming up again one last time. Rolling up. Rolling the shoulders down and back. You're going to take one arm, bring it across your body, looking out to one side, looking out to the other side. Move back to center. And then release, go to the other side. Again, looking one direction. And then the other. And then coming back to center. Release. And do a nice little tricep stretch. So patting yourself on the back, telling yourself what a great job you did today, and then maybe take your hand and pull your elbow gently towards the wall behind you, just until you feel a little stretch. And then release. Go to the other side. Take a nice breath here. And then release. And then from here, you're going to put one foot in front, rock back, that nice calf and hamstring stretch. You guys know I love this one too. Leaning forward, just until you feel a good stretch. And then if that little rotational movement feels good for you, take one hand, reach across to the outside edge of that foot. One more second here. And then release. Come up nice and slow. Before you move your feet, push that back hip forward. And switch sides. Pull those toes up. Make sure you get that good calf stretch first before you start to lean forward, so that you can then add the hamstring stretch in, that you've gotten a good calf stretch, especially when we do calf raises. We've got to make sure we reward that muscle with a nice stretch. And then, if you like the rotational movement, opposite hand to the outside of that foot. One more breath here. Maybe another good sigh. And then plant those toes. Come up nice and slow. Push that back and forward. And release. Fantastic job today. Thank you for coming out to play. I will see you on Thursday.